I'm not sure what it is about collecting items that put a world back together, but both Bastion and Dark Cloud have secured a place in video game history as awesome titles. One of the many things I love about Bastion is that it doesn't feel like shovelware or something hastily put together to make a buck. It's another Xbox Live Arcade title that makes me happy dev kits are so easily accessible. Bastion is superbly developed on the part of Supergiant, and barring a few minor issues, I might be looking at my favorite game of quarter 3.
Riverbank swarming with windbags.
You play as the kid. No, not the one from I Want to Be the Guy, and from what I can tell, this character is content being just the kid. He wakes up to a world that's completely fallen apart due to a catastrophic event referred to as the Calamity. The kid heads for the Bastion, an agreed-upon meeting place for all survivors if something like this were to ever occur, and finds it almost empty. There you meet the narrator, Rux, who insists the kid can restore the world.
Millie. She sends some squirts crying home as she leaves port.
The dynamic narration in this game is pretty epic. It's like having someone walk behind you and make everything you do seem important. Not only is this a great mechanism for storytelling, it also paces the game perfectly. Dynamic narration makes the plot easy to follow by progressively revealing information about an environment as you move through it instead of just dumping a paragraph on you at the start of a level. To be honest, it's a more natural form of learning about your surroundings. Rarely do you know everything about a place before your first visit, so it wouldn't make much sense in-game to have all the information instantly at your disposal.
He never knew his old man, but he had his mama to take care of. Frail thing with pure white hair like his.
You travel to various pieces of the world using the Skyway, collecting cores and shards and really anything that will assist in piecing the world back together. Along the way, you encounter survivors you convince to come back with you to the Bastion. Certain survivors will understand found objects better than others, which will then further develop the plot. While exploring, you'll come across new weapons and objects you can use to upgrade the weapons. There are many different ways of attack, and what's necessary to beat each level will shift slightly to favor one loadout versus another. Luckily, that shift isn't so dramatic that you can't pick your own style of fighting and push through. With good multitasking skills and a tactical mind, levels shouldn't be too hard to start off, but if this game feels too simple for you, Supergiant has you covered. So Bastion offers many facets of gameplay, but my favorite implementation has been the design of the difficulty system. By accessing a shrine, you can kick up difficulty by praying to certain idols. When active, they make enemies tougher, health fewer and far between, and other crazy detriments that add to your overall score, but usually just make life outside of the Bastion quite difficult. Once you beat the game, it's still not time to put down the controller. New Game Plus mode offers more content and new ways to play. Bastion is amazing. I mean, it's woven together perfectly. The painterly art style adds an ethereal mood that you'd expect or at least hope for from a fantasy title like this. The music is always appropriate and adds to the overall experience while still being notably unique and interesting. At times, the controls are a little rough. The kid will sometimes continue moving forward after I've let off the analog stick, and that'd be okay if you couldn't fall off ledges, but you can. Also, I've noticed a slight delay in pulling up my shield, something you're to use as a counter defense. But even considering those two problems I ran into, I still think this game is very well done. There's no point in talking about the price because it's worth it. Bastion is $15, but I would have gladly paid more for this game. It's long, so very long, and full of quite a lot of story with some twists and turns that never let you forget it's slated as a role-playing title. It's a well-developed game with lots of extra content to keep you playing it over and over again.
Best take it real slow and cushion to our foot.
Bastion is an addicting pick-up and play for anyone who just loves video games. It's a tactical beat-em-up with a great fantasy RPG base. Frankly, it's good to be the kid.
After all, he's got the final core. His journey's over, right? Well, no, it ain't.